Adios and vaya conmigo. Going home now to stay. Señoritas don't care when there's no dinero. Yeah, I got no money to stay. Adios and vaya conmigo. Going home now.
AMP action going on all over Talladega this weekend at the AMP Energy 500. The fans who went to the website and have their names on that 88 car that Dale Jr. runs in second place right now. The names on the pit wall and on the banner where his team's Jr. running second behind Kevin Harvick. 67 of 188 laps are complete right now. We've had 20 lead changes, 14 different leaders on the race. And as we've gotten further from the set of pit stops for a second time, the pack beginning to string out into a single file line of cars instead of the 2 and 3 wide racing. Down in the pit studio with Rusty Wallace, Brad Daugherty, Ray Evernham. Question for you. Is that a pattern we normally see at these Talladega races? The farther you go in a green flag run, the race stringing out like this? Or are we seeing something different today?
No, we're definitely seeing something different today. Usually it's side by side, 3 wide, 4 wide here at Talladega. Everybody racing every single lap, except for some that want to hang out in the very back of the pack towards a safe area. But it's obvious that the new rule that NASCAR has put in effect, no bumping allowed in the center of the corners, is causing this problem. But Alan, you brought up something a little while ago that was real intriguing. The cars are getting themselves an accordion problem. They're getting on the brakes, getting out of the throttles, and the guys about 4 or 5 car lengths back, Brad, are starting to catch up and bang into each other accidentally. That could cause a crash.
That's right. Yeah, we're used to seeing these guys, even if the field gets spread out, racing in packs is the pack mentality. And guys really racing hard, 2, 3, 4, and 5 wide. Right now, everyone's trying to keep a comfortable space. They're putting their race car in a good position. They're lined up like a freight train, and they're just snaking around through here, not really getting up on one another, being too racy.
What's the mood of the drivers out there? Let's eavesdrop on the leader, Kevin Harvick.
I had cruise control. This would be a lot easier. I was thinking I'll give you an iPod in your drink holder.
He's talking about being on cruise control. The guys, they're just sitting out there riding right now. They're not getting after it at all.
Well, I think what you're seeing here is the way it used to be with the old car. But what we're not seeing is these cars do have the ability to run up and get 3 and 4 wide. We will see that later in the race. Right now, these guys are adapting. Yeah. Casey pulled way out. He's going to try it.
Yeah, he's trying to get a little racing.
But I think these guys are still feeling one another out and finding out how good these cars are and what they've got to do to be able to pass without bumping. And with as big a holes they blow in the air, we will see them get 3 and 4 wide here again before this race is over.
Was that his teammate Allmendinger that Kane bounced off of?
Yeah, he ran right into his left rear there and put a little mark on his left rear.
I'll bet he's not on cruise control and riding around nice and calm as you please right now. That was a big moment for Casey Kane. Now, Kurt Busch, his team not having so fun a day. Listen.
Nothing we can do, right? We just gotta wait for yellow. Yep, that's what we're gonna have to do. Unacceptable, what we gotta do. We're so busy worrying about engineering numbers, and yet we forget about how to build race cars.
So Kurt riding around 2 laps down in 39th position, so perhaps a preparation mistake leading to that cut tire and spin we saw earlier.
I don't know. Kurt, you know, Roger Penske built some pretty good race cars, and those guys over there work awfully hard, and it's just a shame. You know, things go wrong some days. Kurt's been able to drive some pretty good race cars this year.
Yeah, he has. That's right.
All right, so let's go back and look at what happened to Casey Kane.
Again.
off of turn 2 a minute ago. Watch the red 9 car.
They see him just kind of slide up here a little bit and squeezes Allmendinger and just gets right into that left rear. Very, very fortunate incident right there that didn't take out a lot of cars the rest of the field.
Yeah, the left rear tire in the 44 car, Brad, looks like it's had a lot of damage. I mean, all the good years rubbed off of it. I wouldn't doubt if they'd blow that tire out from being hit so hard.
That thing will go down eventually.
So still on the lead lap, we have 35 of the 43 starters, 4 cars in the garage. Championship leader Jimmy Johnson back in 29th spot right now, and the leader is Kevin Harvick. As we close in on halfway of today's AMP Energy 500 at Talladega Superspeedway.
Here are the current standings for the AT&T Fastest Pit Crew of the Year. Points are accumulated by the team who wins the race by fan votes and an ESPN pick. You see this: Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Tony Stewart, and Jimmy Johnson, the top 4. You can make your pick for the AT&T Fastest Pit Crew of the Year by texting the car number for the pit crew you think is fastest and most valuable in each race to 2258. Standard messaging rates do apply. Still stable up front, single file. Kevin Harvick, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Juan Pablo Montoya. Montoya, the leading chase contender right now in third spot, and Hamlin fourth, and Mark Martin is fifth.
It's not just single file up front. It's 36. 36 cars on the lead lap, and every one of them single file. Nobody stepping out of line.
You saw the contact a little bit ago between the 44 car of A.J. Allmendinger. He had just come off of pit road and was trying to get back up to speed, got lapped, and had gone a lap down and was working his way in the middle of that traffic when he had the contact with his teammate, the 9 car of Casey Kane.
It's unfortunate for Casey. They reported that A.J. had some trash on the front end that he couldn't get off, and the car was starting to overheat, so that's why he had to come to pit road.
We might mention one of the early leaders today was the 07 car of Casey Mears. And if you're wondering, he made that pit stop, what happened to Mears? He's now being shown a lap down because he was caught for too fast on entering pit road and had to have a drive-through penalty. So a tough break for Casey in the 07 car.
Yeah, an even tougher break is that 44 car now is running in front of Casey. Casey would have been the lucky dog, the free pass winner, if we could get another caution right here. But now that we've got the 44 car of Allmendinger in front of him in the line, that he would get that spot. So Casey has a little bit of incentive to get up there and try to pass that 44.
Well, it doesn't look like anybody's got any.
He's got to have help
pass right now.
He'd have to have help if he's going to pass anybody. Nobody willing to step out of line.
Up front, Kevin Harvick, we mentioned he finished second in the season opening Daytona 500, but has gone winless for over 2 years. His last win, the season opening 2007 Daytona 500, 102 races ago. Earnhardt Jr. second, Montoya, Hamlin, and Mark Martin now running fifth. What's right or wrong with Mark?
Well, you see, he's wide open as we go down into turn 1 here. Everybody's running right against the wall pretty much right now. This racetrack has so much grip and these cars drive so good, you really don't mind getting up there. It's pretty easy to do. So he gets a run. Mark had to let out of the throttle. I don't think we'll see any brake issue unless he happens to run up to that 11 car right in front of him. See how the speed pretty much right on the RPM. See, he does back off the throttle just a little bit at the end of the straightaway so he doesn't get up there too close. Now he wants to pick it back up where he can run off the corner and not get too much distance away. So he's just kind of playing with the throttle a little bit, but you see the RPM holding pretty true. That's what you like to see through the corners, that you're not turning the wheel too much. See right there through the tri-oval, he's actually backing out of the throttle.
Yeah, he's backing off a lot more than I actually thought he would.
Well, there's 30 to go, and that'd be the end of it. And they'd get what they want at the end without having to screw around.
Yeah, we like those 30 lap features, don't we?
Now, Tony Stewart talking about 30 to goes whenever he's going to start making the move. Things are going to get, business is going to pick up, as they would say.
Man, somebody tell me something interesting, keep me awake.
I got something. They got a sign down here in the stand. This fan does sell no-dose pills.
And guys, drivers here just trying to running single file, and even these guys here at 190 miles an hour sort of seem like they're a little bit bored out there.
Well, I would tell you one thing. If you're sitting at home, you better not leave this race, because I'm telling you, with 30 laps to go, we know that all the heck's going to break loose. They're going to get racing right then. They've told us that. But as a driver, guys, I have the toughest time being this patient just riding. And I guess that's one thing that bit me in the past year at Talladega, because I did have some big wrecks. There's no doubt about that. Getting impatient. But I just can't sit there like this and not do nothing. It just drives me nuts.
You impatient? No, yeah. You got to be talking about somebody else. Well, you know what? I was a little bit concerned about it messing up my caution history, because but now I know that Tony's not now. I hope he doesn't fall asleep and cause a wreck and get it back on there. But as I said, these guys have been warned. They are afraid of getting penalized right now. These cars have the ability to get up there. They are going to shake it up. I think it's going to be very exciting at the end, but right now they're going to have to wait till they get down. You've got 36 cars riding the line right there, and I believe in 2 or 3 laps they can be 4 wide, just 3 or 4 rows deep.
Now, let me play devil's advocate with all of you. Andy, DJ, Doc, Ray, Brad, Rusty. What NASCAR wanted to do was stop what drivers were complaining about, which was over-aggressive driving in the pack, the heavy bump draft, and the people knocking each other around in the corners, causing the big wreck. So the principal came down and issued a stern warning. Do you think there's a chance the drivers have taken this message a little harder than maybe NASCAR intended?
Well, that's the way it looks. I mean, these guys, like I say, they're all lined up. just toting around through here. A nice little sunny ride in the park, but I do believe so. So, Doc, what do you guys think up there?
Well, I think for sure that had they not been given that warning, it wouldn't be like it is right this second. I think they'd be racing a little harder.
They don't want to get penalized. They can't afford to get penalized or have a pass-through penalty, lose a lap, and lose valuable track position or points here as the chase winds down. Moving in on pit stops, 81 laps complete.